Okay, so this is a continuation of Fruma and your final project modeling of the camera. So this is where we left off, right? And here's our image reference that we'll be building off of. And here is where hopefully you'll proceed and build all these other parts. And just to review, there's this part where this part here was extruded in, and this glass part was pulled out of it into a separate piece. And also this button right here, and this larger button, and the camera lens, the body, the base here, the little extra piece here, and this piece, and this interior piece, and finally this piece, and this one right here, and this. So you'll be modeling that. And the other thing too is the main body. It's been pulled out a bit, where it's, as you can see, it's longer. This one is longer than this. I'll show you how to do that as well. And this part was made as well, the little extra side wall piece, which is kind of like that, but also it's evident in the image references, for example like this one, and even like this one. Well, this one's a little bit different. And what else? And or even this image reference. So there's a theme going on, So also here is a quick render of what it will look like, or at least in the progress of the modeling. So I'll make another tutorial going over these shaders and the basic lighting. And if you also want to choose to make something a little bit more stylized and less realistic, we can talk about pursuing that option as well. But if anything, here are the shaders and kind of what to expect. So, okay, let's go over what we're gonna do. Let's first model this, the body. Okay, and what I did was, you know what? Let me first pull this up. This is the polygon count, the important information that you need for modeling. So that's under display, heads up display, poly count. Again, that's display, heads up display, poly count. Okay. Now I'll pop this up. We need this. It's important. And next. So next thing, let me make a new shelf in case we lost the old shelf. It does happen. So create new shelf, name it. Again, that's this gearbox, new shelf. Alright, so I'm gonna create polygon primitives, cylinder. So then I'm gonna put on the shelf, Control Shift, or maybe perhaps Command Shift for Macs, I think. And then left click and let go. Here it is. I'm gonna click that, and it's inside of it. I'm gonna hit E as in Edward to get my rotation tool. I'm gonna rotate it this way, and in my channel box under rotate X, type in 90, and then for under the inputs, where I can put in higher numbers for better resolution to divide it more, Right now it's set to 20, but let's set it to 36 and hit enter for subdivision axes. And I chose 36 to have a nicer, smoother circumference, so that it'll be less faceted. Okay, right now it's inside of it, so let's pull it out a bit. And let me scale it down. I mean, make it less this way. Hit R, and then this scale under the Z. No, scale Y because it's rotated. Scale Y. Let's scale it right around that much. This much thickness. Okay. And then let's hit W to move it in. Spacebar, spacebar into the front. And if you don't have the 4 panels in case, it's panels, layouts, 4 panels. And then specific panels, under the panels here, you want to choose orthographic and you kind of lay out everything again. Alright, so I'm in my front and I'm going to hit R as in Robert to scale. Let's scale it out, and I'm going to scale with this green square. That's a constrained scale where it will only scale in the up and down, okay, and the side. So it's this way and this way only. And then let's make it, yeah, why not? Make it big, around that big. Make it fun. So that's about, that's basically scale X at 1.5, scale Y at, let's just make it 0.1 to main numbers, and scale Z at 1.5 as well. Alright, so we got that. I'm going to hit W. I'm going to yank it out a bit. Right there. So, this much thickness is, I guess, okay for now. Alright, so we got that. The main shape. Let's go right click, hold, choose edge. Now we're on edge. On this edge, I'm going to double click so it selects the entire edge ring. Edge loop. Then we need to do a poly bevel that I taught you before. Edit mesh. Make sure you're on modeling menu. Edit mesh. And bevel. So Control Shift left click, bevel. Let me pop that open, and it did it. Right, nice. Okay, let's look at the bevel settings. I clicked on the inputs. This little menu pops up as well. Let's make it smoother so it's less faceted. Under segments, let's put 4 so it's nice and smoother. And yeah, fraction, let me see if I put 0.7. Yeah, that's more now. Let's put to, I don't know. I mean, it's up to you too, because it's your project. But between, 0.5 and maybe a little bit higher if you want. So I guess 0.5 is good. Alright. I just hit W. And then I'm going to object mode. Right click object. Okay, do that. And what I want to do is... we'll go into vertex mode, and then spacebar into my side profile. And again, vertex mode is right click, vertex. Alright. I'm going to select those side vertices, inside view, and I'm in 4, which is wireframe, 5 is shaded, 4 is wireframe. I'm going to zoom in a bit and just tuck this in a bit right there. Maybe even a little bit more. So something like that. So I have that nice side profile curvature like that. Spacebar, spacebar. Okay. Right click, object mode. So that's how we got that. I'm gonna tuck them in. right there. Next, let's push this out right here. This right here. The way we're going to do that is select it, right click, go into faces. I'm going to select these faces, but you have to be very careful because if press 4, the other side is selected as well. So to fix that, we're going to spacebar again, spacebar into my side profile, because that way you see the brown line here, but then you also see this brown line here, which is the one that we don't want, this one. So I'm going to go hold Control, left click, hold, and marquee, drag, and you see that my cursor here, there's a minus sign up there. You see it right there. So Control, left click, marquee, drag, up, and then I let go and it deselects it. So that's Control, left click, marquee, select to deselect. Spacebar, spacebar. Now I only have this face selected, which is good. From here, I'm gonna go hold Shift, right click, extrude face. Again, Shift, right click, extrude face. Now I'm gonna pull out. So I'm gonna kind of go to my side profile, take a look, and the blue arrow, pull. And you notice local translate, updates. So, you know, use your eyes and kind of look at it. Maybe like that. Okay, that's good. Maybe a little bit more. A little bit more. And then now we have to taper it in. Like that. Oh, that was called that. I did that with, I believe, a bevel. So all I need for now is for this to turn in. So this to turn in. And maybe I could just make a bevel off of this first. Yeah. Let me go hold right click, edge mode, double click. I got the entire edge. And I'm gonna go shift, no, I'm gonna go, so I double clicked it, got my edge loop. I'm gonna go bevel. Ooh, that was too much. Let's go under the bevel, the inputs, the latest bevel we made, because it's doing the last inputs that we did for the bevel. So I'm gonna just go under the bevel, the latest one. Here's the previous one we did. Here's the latest one. I'm gonna type in 1 for the segments. Alright, and I just need a small taper in. So, okay. Here. Right, the fraction, I'm gonna set the fraction to 0.25. Okay, 0.25, or maybe 0.2, so a tighter, like that one. So you can kind of choose, you know, because this is what we're looking for, which is basically this right here. So you choose. The greater the bevels, it lends more to a more of a fun, cartoony style. Okay, like these nice, soft bevels. And the tighter bevels you have, it lends to more of a realistic style. So maybe, yeah, maybe this is good. Let's try that. Okay, so we got that. Next, I need to set a footprint here to get this little footprint. And then I'm gonna extrude off of that. Basically, so what I'm gonna do is select it, right click, face. And I'm gonna select the face like we did before. Spacebar, spacebar in here. I want to deselect these back faces. Control left click, hold and drag, and it deselects it. Alright, now I'm going to do what we talked about. So shift right click, extrude face, and it pops up the tool, but we don't want to drag from here. I just want to drag from the center. I'm going to hit R as in Robert. Now I'm going to set my footprint. There we go. Something like that. And we're going to extrude off of this footprint landmark that we did. Like how this one has from here to here this much space. That's what we did. From here to here, that much space. Okay? That was the whole reason why we did that. So just to quickly review, we made our bevel. Then we applied our footprint to get this much space by just extruding and just pulling on the center scale, but not pulling out. So we did that, right? Now we're going to extrude. Shift right click, extrude face. And now I can pull. And that's how I got this right here. Like so. Maybe something like that. Maybe, yeah. Around there. Maybe a little bit more. Let's make it a little bit pronounced. Yeah, something like that. Because this is more cartoony style. Let's have some fun with it. Okay, so we did that. I'm going to let go. Alright, next. This part. So this obviously looks like a separate piece, but it was actually originally attached. And then I just separated it to give it a different shader color material feel to it. So, but if you pretend that this is one piece, so if this was one piece, if I zoom in, I extruded out like that, and then I pushed out this way, and then I eventually put a bevel there. So let's go ahead and try to do that. So here we are. And the way I extruded it was, so common times, you know, for beginner, you'd probably think like you would probably select the face. Let me hit 4 to deselect these guys. Control left click drag to deselect. Hit 5 again. You think, let me extrude this, right? But watch what happens if you try to extrude. Shift right click, extrude face, right? And then hit R as in Robert. And then you try to, you know, think, hey, you know what? Let me do this, right? And then let me push out. But you notice it starts to look weird. If I click outside, it does that. It's overlapping faces. You know, this causes overlapping faces, which is not good. And Maya doesn't like that. So let me, just to inform about why that doesn't work. And this is where I did, let me Control Z, right? Let me Control Z one more time, and one more time, and one more time, right? So just to make sure I undid all of that. So the way we're gonna put this extrusion right here, how it juts out, right here, where it pushes out like that, we have to kind of work backwards. So what I'm gonna do is, off of this base, I'm gonna need a insert edge loop, mesh, edit mesh, mesh tools, insert edge loop. I want the option box for it. Control Shift left click, option box. And here's my tool settings. I'm gonna make it relative so that I can place the edge loop wherever I want. So I'm gonna place it right around this much. From here to here, that's gonna dictate something that you'll see. I'm gonna do something like that. Okay, watch what happens. I'm gonna hit W. Okay, and I'm gonna hit right click face mode, and then I'm gonna go space bar, and then I wanna select only these faces right here. The way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna go to my side profile, and which is these faces. I'm gonna carefully just left click and hold and drag, and only select like that. See, space bar. I only did that. Hit F as in Frank to frame it, the camera, so it orbits around my selection. So I did that. Now what's the whole point of me doing this? Well, I'm gonna shift right click, extrude face. Now if I pull out, that's how I get my outer shape, that one I was talking about. So maybe like that much, okay. Alright, so far so good. Now I need to pull this out, this guy right here, this thing. So I could either go right click, vertex, okay, right click, vertex, spacebar, go into my side profile. I'm gonna shift left click and hold, marquee, select, just that, carefully, hit W, spacebar, okay. Now I'm gonna pull. Let me kind of go out a bit. Yeah, there we go. Let's make it noticeable like that much. A little bit more. Yeah, see, so that's how I got that. So just be mindful of that. Okay. And whenever you see that weird overlapping faces, you want to undo that. Think about what we did here before. Now, I want to add my bevel here. I'm going to select it, shift, right click and hold, right? And go to edge mode. Now I'm going to double click. And I'm going to put a nice bevel here. This one right here. And it's gonna do that thing again. Yeah, too much. So again, poly bevel under our construction channel box, the newest one, and then this little menu pops up again. Let's set the segments to just 1. So we got that nice turn in, and the fraction, let's set it to 0.4, so it's less. Maybe that much is good. 0.4 instead of 0.5, so you still see it. Right click, object mode. That's how I went ahead and did that. Okay, then zoom in. I have this. This here has a lot of edges that I put in before because it was messing around with my shading when I was doing my renders. So just ignore those extra lines for now. I'm gonna select this and hit F as in Frank to frame it. Okay, let me get rid of my grid lines right here under panels. I'm gonna get rid of it for now. Alright, let me make that nice bevel. Zoom in, right click, edge. Double click on that edge loop. Now I'm gonna make my bevel. Again, too much. But I'm gonna go into my channel box and our construction history. Click on the latest one, which is top of the ladder up here, list. Let's set the segments to just 1, and you know, you can decide if you want a broader, you know, more aggressive bevel if you want. You know, maybe you can right click, object mode, let go, and to see it as without the wireframe on your shaded model, you just hold Alt and 5, or in Max I believe it's Option 5 to kind of see it without the wireframe. Alt 5 again to see it with the wireframe. See? It helps to see both views. Alright, that looks fun. Yeah. And okay, Alt 5 again. I need the wireframe. Alright, so next we have how this lip here, and then it kinda goes in. Oh, let me hit W. Let me push this back in. Alright. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, it was right around there. Kinda don't like that. Whatever. Alright, so we'll work on that. Next job is to make this lip. But I think for us, we're gonna make the lip more surface instead of this shorter lip. So we're gonna build that. Alright. So I have this here. I could use this edge loop here. Right click, hold, edge. Double click on that. So it selects all of that. Right. Then I'm gonna hit R as in Robert. I'm gonna pull on this center one, which is in bright yellow. Do not pull on these other guys. We don't need to scale those. Only right in the center. And left click and hold and drag towards my left. And now I can set my footprint for how much spacing I want for my camera. Maybe something like that. So maybe I have an example. So for example, on this one, it has like this much space, which is fair amount. And then what else? And here's this one, has this much space. But then on other cameras, you know, like this older version, it's only a tiny lip. So you kinda, it's good to have, and this one, this more stylized, has a tight lip too, bevel or lip. So you kinda pick and choose. I wanna go for something wider lip, because this one had a tighter lip and kinda don't like it. But if you have a wider lip, you know, maybe give that a shot. So you use your artistic judgment. Again, that's scaling with the center. So like around that much. Now, we have to push this in. You know, it goes in from here. In. The way we do that is, you know what? Let me scale this in some more. I want to accommodate for a bevel later on. So maybe around there is good. Alright, so this much space, give or take. Now I'm going to go right click face. Again, right click face. I'm gonna left click marquee, select that. But carefully where I have to go spacebar, spacebar. And I selected these back faces. You know, which is over here, which I don't want that. So I'm gonna this here is good. Right click, no, control, hold on control, and you see how it turns into a minus sign, and left click marquee select or marquee deselect, let go. There we go. So I only have that now. Alright, now shift right click extrude face. Again, shift and hold right click, extrude face, let go. From here, now I'm going to push in. That's how I got that. And then, from what I remember, push in. Now let me look at some image references. 1 second. So we got something like that one. Then there's that part. The lens zooms in and out. Then this part. Alright. And then even this, but that's this inside here. So I'm thinking, what should we use? Alright, let me look at some of the other image references. 1 second. Alright, gotta find something where I can see it in quarter view. Thought I had more image references. Maybe that one? So it does zoom in. It does taper in. But it's a tight lip. The lens, outer lens, there's another outer lens. Alright. Oh yeah, there is more. That's Nikon. There's that one. Alright, these are mostly all Nikons. This has a tight lip. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, it gets confusing. This is that telescopic lens thing, but this is the lens body right here. Then it does that. Alright, so okay. Well, I like how it goes in. So what should we do? Alright. Let me go pull up to here. Give it this much turning in. Okay. Let's look at this. Let's try work. Oh man. Right, so let me. Alright. Okay, so it does that. Right. And then let me pull up to here. And then from there, we're gonna go. Oh, alright, so I'm gonna hit W. Alright, just get into faces, centered. And then I'm gonna go, let's see if I shift, we're gonna extrude. Shift, right click, extrude face. Then I'm gonna hit R. I'm gonna scale in. Okay. So what we did was we still had the faces selected, just on that face. And I liked the little, this much of a lip going in that much. Now I also like how on this image, pretend this lip is fatter. And then you know how it goes in like this. It starts to go in, like that. And then goes, hollows out like that. So I have the makings for that, because if I hit W, right, after that extrusion where I extruded like this, making the footprint, now if I pull in, I get that nice effect going in like that. Okay. So basically there's that part going in, and this part going in. Now I need to make go like that and go in, straight in. So from here, so I did that. All right. Let let's see. I'm gonna go, if I set the smoothing angle to 40 or 60, that doesn't do anything. Alright, so from here I did that. Now I'm gonna extrude. Shift right click, extrude, let go. The reason why I did that is I want to, if I zoom in with the blue arrow, tuck it in. There we go. So I have that additional there from here to here, and kind of concaves in and does that inward again. Alright, so we did that. Now looking at this as a reference, boom, 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 then goes in, kind of like how these guys goes boom in. Alright, so alright, and let me even look here. Alright, so I got W. I don't want to mess things up. Right. That one's actually a lot. So zoom in. Right. I'm just looking at my other references. You know what? Yeah, let's do that then. Okay. Alright. So you, okay. Right click face. Let me. Oh. Alright, so I still got those faces. Hit 4 just to make sure. Okay, so let me go shift right click, extrude face again, and if I hit R, and if I push and pull in from the center, okay, so I made a footprint, hit W, maybe pull it in now. Do I like that? Alright, so we got, well, this one's a little bit different too. Well, you know what? Let me undo. Okay, I still have that footprint. And then I'm gonna hit R. I'm gonna pull this footprint back to maybe around here. Okay. After that, boom, boom, tucks in. Okay, we're gonna do another one now. From here, I wanted this much space. From the first caving in, from here to here to here, here. From here, I'm gonna go shift right click, extrude face off of that selection we had. Alright, then I'm gonna hit R or W, okay, off that extrusion, that second extrusion. I'm gonna pull in, hit, W, right, and then hit R, and scale it in so I get that another effect of going inward. Hit W, maybe pull in. Now I got that concave going on. Hit R and just taper in some more. Now I can rest my lens. Alright, so then we did that. So during class, if you start to get confused or overwhelmed, let me know, and I'll stop by and help guide you. Okay. Alright, good. Now I want to grab that face. I need a I need to make this. The way I'm going to do that is first let me save this. Alright, so I saved it. So from here, okay, I want this face, right click face. I'm gonna just left click marquee select. But if I hit 4, I select a whole bunch of stuff from behind. So I'm gonna go hold Control, left click marquee deselect, let go. So that's Control and left click drag and hold to deselect the other faces. Ooh, that was 1. Alright, hit 1 to get out of that smooth proxy. Alright, so I got that. Now, like I said before, I want to pull this out. Shift right click, again shift right click, extract faces. Okay, now I'm going to pull in my outliner. It made into a group, so I have the lens base. I'm going to name it lens body. This one, I'm going to name it glass lens. I'm going to select these right here, this group right here. I'm going to hit that plus sign. It's going to select all of that. I want to delete my history. Edit, delete by type, Control Shift, left click, delete history. Now my history's gone. Okay, maybe I'll keep the group, maybe name it lens group for now. This one is my example. I'm gonna drag it and put it on top of here. Alright, so now I got this. Hit 4, but now my center of it is way over here. So what I'm gonna do is I need to center pivot, like I taught you guys before. Edit, modify, center pivot, Control Shift, left click, center pivot. Now it's at the direct center of my object. Alright, so my glass lens. I want to give it a little dome to it. So what could I do? What did I do? Try to remember. Alright, so this is the inside of it. Okay, remember? Alright, what did I do? What I did was select it, right click faces. So I remembered the faces I had selected before. Now I'm gonna go shift right click, extrude face. I'm gonna pull up. I want this much volume to it, and you see why. I'm gonna click outside of it. So I gave it this much surface now. Now I'm gonna go right click, object mode. No, right click, edge mode. I'm gonna double click and select all those edges. Then I'm gonna go insert a bevel. Okay. Then I'm gonna go to my bevel. It's inputs, and I'm gonna set my fraction to 1. So that's the maximum amount of it'll cave in like that. And I have my segments to 3. Let's set it to 4. Okay. Maybe 5 in case. Right, just in case 5. Alright, so why did I do all this? Because it doesn't even look like a lens, right? What I'm going to do is let's tuck this back in. Hit F to frame it in. I'm going to pull this in right around there. Alright, so I mean, this does not look like a lens, but what we're going to do is select it, right click edge, double click that, hit R. Now I'm going to scale this in from the center right around here. Then I'm going to double click that. I'm going to, from the center, scale right around there. And be mindful of my spacing, like this much spacing. Grab that one, double click. Scale, which is R again. From the center, scale like around that much. Then I'm gonna double click. From the center, scale that much. Maybe some more. And this one, maybe some more. This one again, maybe some more. Alright. Then I want double click this one. Maybe I'll just go hit W and I'll tuck this in like that using this here. Tuck it in like that. Then maybe double click on that, kind of zoom in. From here, maybe tuck it in off of the Z axis. Double click that, tuck it in. Maybe double click this one again, maybe pull it back some more. Right there. And then double click. Push it back. Maybe hit R. Maybe pull it out, give it more volume. Click that. And hit as an R and pull from the middle. And hit W and pull it back. Double click that. Hit R. Pull from the middle. Hit W. Tuck it in. Alright, so right click object mode, let go. Hit Alt 5 or Option 5. Alright, select that. Now I'm gonna go Mesh Display, Soften Harden Edges, Option box, Control Shift left click, click on that. This again is to help manipulate the shading. Set to 40. The higher the number, the smoother shading the model will start to take on. So there we go. So I have this. I don't like that. Right click, edge, double click on that. Let me tuck this down. Maybe that'll help. Object mode, click outside. Let me apply another one. Maybe, yeah. Okay, that seems to help. Alright, then you notice these shading, it looks really ugly and annoying. So let me select that. And I'm going to right click edge. I'm going to select that edge. And then I'm going to select that edge. the surface where it's giving me problems. Just those two. Then this is a new tool. Basically, go under select. Convert selection. I'm gonna pop this window off, and I'm gonna need this one where it says 2 edge ring. Control Shift left click. And I'm also gonna need 2 faces. Control Shift left click. Pull it out of the way. So let me click that. It selected all the edge ring, not the edge loop, but the edge ring going parallel. Then I'm gonna select the faces within that ring. Now I'm going to apply a soften harden, maybe at 40. Close, right click, object mode. Okay, but now it messed with that. So maybe I'll go right click edge. I'm gonna select that edge. I'm gonna select its ring to lead to selecting its faces. I'm gonna apply a soften harden. I'm gonna lower this down to say 20. The lower the number, the stiffer the shading looks. Well, it should, but it didn't. This is why. Alright, fine. Let me go. Let's set it to 30? 40? Doesn't do anything. This is it's a soften harden that we applied. Let me set it to 10. Oh, that made it worse. 20. 30. Alright, so alright, now I have to insert an edge loop to tighten the shading. So what I'm gonna do is first, maybe over here, right? Insert edge loop right here. I have it set to relative, meaning I can put it wherever I want. Alright, so I'm gonna put it right here. Let me try it right here. This should, okay, did that. So when you're adding more resolution, it will start to help the shading as well. And then let me place one more here. Okay, yeah, that helped. Object mode. Right, now let me double click that. Okay, let me tuck this down here. I'm just pushing it the Z right back. I'm gonna right click edges, or double click that, the same one I did. Let me pull it all the way down, or you know what, I'm gonna select that, right click, delete edge. Let me just delete that. Alright, the reason I did that is because edge, I'm gonna right click edge, double click that, double click, select that edge loop, the inner edge loop for this guy right here. I need to add a bevel right here. That was too much. And then go in here. Let's set the segments to one segment. It's too much of a bevel. The fraction, let's set it to half of that, 0.25. It's kind of tight. 0.35. Alright, 0.35. Or maybe 0.4. Okay, there, 0.4. And it also resolved most of the issue. Let me add a bevel here because this shading, I really don't like that. So if I add up, let me just double check. Let me zoom in on here, see what's happening. This is my lens. Got that. I add an edge loop there, it should help. Ooh, maybe not. Why is it acting like that? If I add an edge loop here and here, right click, object mode. Alright, that seems to help. Alright, so what I did was this. Alright, so the problem areas where it starts to lose its edge, looks all mushy. When I add additional edge loops, it helps to clear it out. Insert edge loop. Maybe, like I said, I could put one right in the middle, okay, and one right here for sure. Make it tight. There we go. So I did that. You know what? Right click, edge. Let me click, double select that one, and I'm gonna pull it closer to the corner. Not the corner, but the apex of the turn. There, it's tighter again. Good. Alright, good. So that's how we did that. Alright. It's slightly different from this. Okay. Now what? Got the frame, the lens, the body. Alright. Then we also have these little grooves here, which is basically this thing right here. And also even like say right here. And even on this one right here. It'd be a nice addition. Select it, frame it, zoom in. Okay, the way I did that was, yeah, this is why I detached things. So if you notice, this is metallic. This is more towards, well, for sure they're almost different materials for sure. Aluminum, I think. This one is more of a shiny plastic maybe. The black. Anyhow, I want to apply a different shader, different materials settings to it. So the way I do that is I'm going to right click face. One second. And then I'm going to hit 4. I'm going to select only these faces. Make sure I only have that selected. So I have those faces selected. Hit 5. And then zoom in. So it's over here. Over here. Just making sure. Now I want to detach this. So I'm going to go shift right click. Go all the way down. Extract faces. Again, extract faces. So when I bring this over, here's the lens group. Now it made a subgroup to accommodate for the action we did. Here's a lens. I'm gonna name this lens body. I'm gonna name this lens black ring. Alright. Then I'm gonna grab both of those. I don't want this subgroup. I'm gonna grab those two. Middle mouse click and hold. And I'm gonna just tuck it out of it. That's what I did. Middle mouse click and hold and tucked it out of it. This empty group, I'm going to delete. Ooh, no, undo. Alright, the reason why I did that is it's linked with the shaders. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to delete history. Clear out all that other nonsense. So here's the group. So that was delete history. That's the black ring. The body. Let's name it lens aluminum body. Aluminum body. Alright. Let me put that middle mouse click and drag up here. Then the lens ring. Then the lens glass, which is here. Alright. I'm going to select that. That's the lens lens black ring. Hit 4. Alright. It's going over there now. I need to center it. Center pivot. Good. Move this out of the way. Alright. 5. Now I'm going to make those little rivets. These rivets. Right here. The way I'm going to do that is I need to go right click edge. Edge mode. I'm going to select these edges. Hit 4. Carefully marquee select those edges, hit 5 so you can see what I'm doing. I made sure only to select the edge ring, not the circumference. And then after that, I'm gonna go do a poly bevel, but I don't want to deal with all those extra segments, so I'm gonna go under edit mesh, under the bevel, under the option box for it, segments, set it to 2, I believe. Hit apply. Right? And close it. So I set it to 2. That was under the bevel options. But if I set it to 1, okay, 1. Or if I set it to 2, I can just pull that out, right? Yeah, maybe I'll do that. And then the fraction, set it to 0.65. No, that makes it wider. 0.5, 0.4, make it tighter. Okay. Alright, so basically, the lower the number, the tighter the bevel spacing. The segments, I set it to 2. And that's it. Reason why I did that, the fraction and the segments, is because, ooh, forgot one more thing. The depth. Right, the depth. I'm slowly raising it up. Yeah, that's the depth. Depth. Right, so that's how I got that. So maybe 12. So right click, object mode, let go. That's how it looks. Kinda like it, I kinda don't. Let's go to poly bevel. Let's set the smoothing angle to 20 to make it stiffer. Alright. So that's that part. And if you kind of don't like it, if it's a bit much, you know, you could set the segments to 3. If you set the segments to 3, it'll update and give more of a nicer profile look. See? And then, you know, maybe you want it to be thinner. Maybe set the fraction to 0.5, 0.3 instead of 0.4, makes it tighter. See? If I zoom out, there you have it. I think it's nice. Next, The body, I expanded it out. So the reason why is because the buttons were getting all crunched up. Like for example, I'll probably like it here and here. Give some spacing design wise. So in this case, that's not possible. Right click vertex mode for the body. Right click vertex. Spacebar into the front. I'm gonna grab that face. And I'm just gonna pull it up to this point. This line. Zoom in. Right there. Zoom out. So I just grab those vertices. I'm gonna grab these vertices, zoom in, and I'm gonna pull right there. Let go. And that's how I got that. Spacebar. Okay, let me save this. Now that looks fun. Let's make this part. Those panels, which would be, for example, like this, which would be like that, and like that. The way I did that was spacebar. Where are we? Oh. Okay, spacebar. Alright. Now, you'd think you could add a edge loop right here, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work because this object has it's not complete. It has what we call N as in Nancy, n-sided polygon surface. It only works when you have a surface where it has 4 sides, but this has multiple 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 blah 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 blah, too many sides that are not connected. That's why insert edge loop does not work in this situation. So what I'm going to do is I need the edit mesh or mesh tools, multi-cut tool. I need the option box for it. Control Shift left click, multi-cut tool, click on it, reset, and yeah, move it over. So here's my multi-cut tool. It's doing this weird thing where it's trying to, you know, connect to the other points. What I need to do is I want a straight line cutting across. So I'm going to hold down Shift, left click, make a straight line. That's all I'm doing. Let go, and there it is. Now, here, Shift, left click and hold, drag across. Let go, and there you have it. That's how I got that. Alright, now, placement. Hit 5. I kind of like this wider placement, so I'm going to do that. Double click, and I'm going to even pull it down some more. And double click, maybe pull up a bit. Yeah, something like that. Hit spacebar. Let's look around. Alt 5 or Option 5. Now, all I'm going to do is select it, right click, select faces. Or, you know what, right click, edge. Let's use the other tool where I'm going to select that edge, go and use this tool, select all parallel edges that form an edge, blah blah blah. There we go. Now I need to select the corresponding faces. This one, which is that one. Again, if you miss this part, that is under select convert selection to edge ring and to faces. Alright, so I got that. Now all you need to do is go shift right click, extrude face. Now I might pull on the, that was this handle right here. I believe it was in, well, right now it's in yellow, but before it was blue. Anyway, it's this one. Don't grab this one down here, it's going to yank it down. Don't grab that one, it's going to yank it that way. If you pull out from here, it does that nice extrusion. Okay. I might need to do something. Well, that might be an issue. Because I need to make this a different material. Yeah, I need to make it a different material. So it needs to be separated. So, unfortunately, let me undo that. Undo once, undo twice, undo 3 times. Okay, and if I look into my history, the extrusion is gone. So I'm good. Hit 4 just to look around. Right, so in this part I need to extract this. So instead of extruding, because I want to give it a different material, shift control shift right click, extract faces, let go. Alright, jeez, get out of my way. Alright, so there it is. Here it is. Click that open. Here's the panels. I'm just name it panels. I'm gonna name this camera body. I wanna select all of that. I wanna delete the history. Good. I'm gonna name the group camera body group. Alright. You know what? Let me name this side panels. Alright. So I'm gonna grab my side panels. Okay. Oh, no. No, I don't want to do that. Wait. I don't want to extract. Because in case we want to animate this where it pops open, where you can put in the film roll, you don't want to try to avoid destructive modeling in case of that. Let me just undo that. Alright, so it wasn't that bad. Okay, we undid that. Polycut where we left off. I'm gonna go duplicate. Select the faces. Edit mesh. Duplicate. Option box. Alright, that looks good. Apply. Now I have the body. Camera body. Side panels. Select that. Delete the history. Alright, so the reason why I went through all that nonsense was because in case you want to do something like this where, you know, this pops open. Just thinking about if this were to be in production, these are the kind of things you want to consider. You know, say product modeling and product display. things like that. You know, it's an easy thing to avoid, and might as well teach that and to show that idea and concept. Whereas these are the lens, and there's a lot of play with it because it goes inward. But for the body, it's a little bit different. Alright, so I got the side panels, and then if I were to pull it out, there it is. Still maintain the main body. So I'm going to select the side panels, shift right click, extrude, pull out, maybe around there. Yeah, so that's what I did. I pulled with the blue arrow, the Z axis, after the extrusion. I did not hit W, just the main tool that it automatically converted to. Right now, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to right click, edge, double click that, apply a bevel. Oh, I did that again. Well, it's fine. Yeah, that's nice. Let me select that, poly bevel, fraction. Let's see if it can make it more. There we go. Nice little turn. And this one, right click edge, double click, bevel. Let's look at the newest settings. And then the fraction. What did I set it to? Let me look at the old one, bevel 10, fraction at 0.75. Let's go to the new one, 0.75. And then let me adjust the smoothing angle to give it something smoother. You see how it changed? And for the previous bevel, let's change that too. Now clear it out. It does make a difference because when rendering, it will probably show the artifacting, because I'm not going to smooth this, meaning the poly smooth. I'll explain poly smooth in depth later. So here we got that. Good. Alright, next, we're almost done. This thing right here. So what I did was select that. Let's save. Right click, faces, select. Make sure I have nothing else selected. Shift right click, extrude face. Alright, now offset 0.1. It's a bit much. 0.05 for the offset, meaning it's just gonna leave a footprint. It's not gonna push in or out. That's what offset is. So spacebar. I want to look in here. I want to compare the two. So this one I kind of didn't like. The bevels were huge. This one is more tighter. This is where I'm gonna. This sets the stage for the footprint, where it's gonna push in. Spacebar. So all we did was mess with the offset to place our footprint. So it didn't push in or out. Now I want to push in. Shift. Because if I push in now, look what it does. Actually, that kind of looks nice too. Huh. Right click, object. Kind of like that. Yeah. I don't know why I like that. I don't like it. It just cuts in like that. But alright. Let me select that. Okay. So we have our we have our footprint. Let's go back into the extrude. And let's set the, this is the inputs for the extrude, the what we just did. And let's set the divisions to 2. See what that did? Instead of 1, where it's just 1 over here, set it to 2. Now if I, so again, that's division to 2. And then the offset is at 0.05. So offset is at 0.05, divisions at 2. Okay. Now right click face. I'm gonna select that and that. The reason why I did all of that was so that when I tuck it in, I still have this face, that face. Then tuck it in. Discoloration. Let me put a. What if I put 3? Let me undo that. I'm looking for a nice bevel. Okay. Okay. Alright, if I do that, what I did before, and I'm gonna add up, say 30, hit apply. I'm just doing a soften harden to see what it looks like. And Alt 5 to get out of shaded wireframe. Yeah. I like this better than that. I don't know why. Okay. And then let me just select that. I don't like it cuts in too harsh. Let me just add a poly bevel. Alright, I added a lot. Let me just adjust that. Set it down to 1. And then fraction to maybe 0.4. Segments at 1, fraction at 0.4. Okay. I have a nice little soft, more gradual turn in. And then let me go back into that bevel I just made. Let me set the smoothing angle to 40. Maybe not. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. So that was a poly bevel. Segments at 1, fraction at 0.4. Off of that edge that I had to give a nicer transition. Alright, it's a nice mix of tight bevels and broad bevels. Let me select that. Right, no, okay. Then now I need to make this. So let me first select these two faces, hit 4, just to make sure. 5, hit W. I want to tuck this in, maybe like this much. Around there. Now, face and face, I'm gonna do a duplicate. Yeah, shift right click, duplicate face. Open this up. That is the main body. camera body, flash lens, or flash piece, or flash, I don't know, flash something. Alright, so I grab my flash piece, and the center of it is here, so I need a center pivot. Hit F to frame it in. I'm gonna save. Alt 5 so I can see the wireframe, so I can see the depth of it. And as you can see, it's still the main piece there. Now I'm gonna extrude. Shift, right click, extrude. And that's for the flash piece. I'm gonna push out. And then I'm gonna set the offset 0.1. So it tapers in. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 0.05, which is half of that. Like that. Or maybe 0.06, 0.04. Yeah, 0.04. Something like that. Hit 4. Yeah, that looks slick. Okay, so that's how I got that. Let's move this over. Well, this one, this dial, let's just move it here, because I want to put the button, that button over here, which is on the right side. Most people are right-handed, so safe to assume the trigger button will be on using your right thumb. And I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna tuck it down a bit more, maybe around there, a lower profile. Okay, next, this. That is basically a cylinder. So what I'm gonna do is make a cylinder, pull it up, we're almost done, truncate it down, hit W, move it over, hit F to frame it. As you can see, it's big. Hit R, scale it down, maybe around here. Maybe some more. Yeah, I want a cute little button. Hit R, squash it down, hit W. Okay, pull out a bit. Just want to compare this to this. Hit R and scale it. Now I still want it to be smaller. Maybe like that much. Maybe that much. Something like that. I want a nice, small, dinky little trigger button. I'm gonna push it over here, hit F. Okay. Now I want to give it more resolution because it's kind of faceted. So let's give it 32. That way it cuts across here, cuts across there for a perfect cut. Alright, then it's gonna do this, this, and this. So I need to first right click face, hit 4. I'm gonna select that. I don't want the bottom. Hold Control, left click, marquee, deselect, let go. Hit 5 for shaded. Now I'm gonna set my footprint before I set my bevel. Shift right click, extrude face. But I'm gonna not extrude anything. I'm gonna just offset, meaning set a footprint to push out my trigger button. Maybe something like that. I'm just looking at my spacing. Hit W, and I don't want to pull up because it does that. I mean, you could use this, but I don't know, kind of don't like it. So I'm gonna extrude off of that. Shift right click, extrude face, pull up, something like that. And I might have did something wrong over here. Let me undo that. Yeah, I pulled up by accident. So I got the face over here. Shift right click, extrude face. Now I pull up, it's a perfect straight up. And then after that, I'm gonna pull up here. And then I'm gonna hit R. Now I'm gonna center it down to get that. So now I want to make some adjustments. Double click here. No, double click there. Hit R. Just kind of broaden it out. And then I'm gonna select that. Right click, edges. Double click on that edge. Now I want to set my my bevel. I'm gonna go into my poly bevel. I'm gonna set it to say 2 or maybe 1. The fraction I might set it to like say a 0.4. Maybe tuck it in. Select it, maybe pull it out a bit. Hit Alt 5. So I get that little button. I think that's good. Maybe it's a little too small. I'm gonna select those vertices, hit 4, hit R, just kind of scale it out like that. Maybe scale it in a little bit. Alright, so the last part is this one. So I'm gonna make another cube, cylinder, hit E to rotate, rotate X, should be at 90. I'm gonna scale it down. Hit Alt 5 for wireframe. Set the subdivisions to say 32. Kind of squash it in with the R as in Robert. Look at my spacing. Tuck it in. It needs to bevel in. So I'm going to select that. Right click faces. Select those faces. Hit 4. hold Control, left click, deselect. Now I need to set my footprint. Shift right click, extrude face. I want to extrude from the center, hit R, pull from the center there. So I set my footprint to set this up. So I hit right click face, and remember the faces I selected before. Hit 4 just in case. 5 again. Shift right click, extrude face. Push this in. Okay. Now I want to do a bevel over here. Set to segment set 3. Maybe set it to maybe 1. And then the fraction set to 0.4. So have a tighter bevel. And even on the inside lip, there's a bevel. Select it, right click, edge, double click the edge, put a bevel on it. The newest bevel, set the segments to 1. Set the fraction to say 0.4 to have a tighter bevel, 0.3. Alt 5. Now I want to select these faces, hit 4, Control left click to deselect that, hit 5. Now I want to make a duplicate. Shift right click, duplicate face. Name this red flash lens, and then name this red flash body. Select all of that, delete the history, name this red flash group, Alt 5. I'm gonna center the pivot. Now I'm gonna do a extrusion. Shift right click, extrude. I'm gonna pull this out, probably up to here. I'm gonna double click that, the edge loop. I'm gonna do a do a bevel. Select the bevel for it. Set the segments to 5. Set the fraction to 1, which is the maximum. Go to edges, select those edges, hit R. I'm going to start scaling it in. Double click, scale it in. Double click, scale it in. Double click, scale it in. scale it in, hit 4, now I'm going to do a soften harden, Alt 5, and pull it out to here, something like that. Maybe I might right click edges, double click that edge, and then right click vertex or hit 4, 5, or right click faces. I'm going to just select those inside faces, hit 4, control left click, so I only select that. Reason why I'm doing this is to pull that out. Go to edges, double click on those edges, tuck that down, double click that, hit R, scale that in, double click that, hit R, scale that in, double click that, hit R, scale that in from the center, tuck that down, double click that, hit R, maybe pull that in more, hit W, push it down. There you have it, a nicer curvature. Makes the difference when you add shaders and then you see the reflections on it. Delete the history. Maybe this part, I might want to hit 4, select only those, bulge, or maybe tuck, maybe I can, that might not work. That much, yeah, that's even, yeah, that's better. Now I got some empty space here. Double click that edge, hit 4 or 5, select that, click on this right here, isolate selection, right click vertex, and or gonna just select the faces, hit 4, just to make sure that I only select these faces. Get out of the isolate selection mode, zoom in, pull that out so it connects. I'm just a little bit wary about here and here, that transition, to give it enough surface area. Alright, so that's pretty much the modeling. Maybe make this, hit R, scale it a little bit more, pull it in, Yeah. So that's the end of the modeling.